Ba-da-ba-da. Da-da. Right, hold on, let me just check my crap. Okay, what was I? Right. I think on top of getting him all the way up, which, hold on, I'm going to check to see if I've, yep, I hit that one up, which means buying and just pumping special defense until it's full. How much money do I have? Right, well, I need to go get some, harvest my berries before I even start grinding, so, well, grinding more. I'm also thinking about just getting Gutsel up at this point, because I've got enough, backlog Pokemon to rely on. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Now that I have a new member of my party, where is H? I completely skipped past it. Whoops. Faint attack, I think it's called. False Swipe. It's only compatible with a rare few Pokemon. Not any of them, unfortunately. Alright, that would have been made easier. I just would have said flat out that I'd start grinding all of them up. As high as possible. It's pity. I'll eventually get them on neck and learn it again. But yeah, I've been thinking about grinding Gutsel up too. It really depends on when I hit level 80 with the other two. Now, this works because it will get me to the center of the entire thing, and I can then work my way back. Na 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 da 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 da. Fate. I'm always annoyed because False Swipe is pretty much the best move for a trainer to have, and it's also a move that can only be learned by an infinitesimally tiny amount of Pokemon. It's annoying. Na, na, na. Yeah, well. Was kind of hoping for more battles, but okay. Right now, I just want to check how many berries I've got. Citrus. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna rebalance this here. How much I'm going to give, how many orange berries I'll plant, how many citrus, how many lum. I'm not even gonna bother replanting just yet, because it's honestly quicker for me to just go through this way and start replanting backwards. After a brief stop, of course, at Battle Beach City. Or blah, 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 City. I've decided the forest berry I'll plant will be orange, just because, you know, my orange could use a bit of a buff. Sometimes you just need 10 HP, or just under 10 at least. Honestly, at this point, I'd have started using my repels, but honestly, I'm not touching grass. I'm touching grass so little in this area that it's not really a problem. Gonna take a quick trip upwards to, you know, do the thing. Now here, it is totally worse. What was I doing? Yep. Because pretty much everywhere from here to back, from the entrance to that cave to the city, is a random encounter zone. Now I'm almost there. I went to some steps there, but not much. Say, what the? No, what are you doing, you asshole? For some reason, my computer decided to open up another window. Another thing, an old PokeTuber has resurfaced recently with a video talking about Gen 2 and basically their defense of Gen 2. And while it's an interesting video, I'm definitely gonna have to say I disagree with them. Special defense. Right, you. For a lot of reasons I disagree with them, but Basically, they're saying people are basically playing the games wrong because they're essentially designed to be a single-player MMO, and that you're supposed to role-play and all that, and I'm like, well, if that's the way you're supposed to play it, then that's just the failing of the game designers. I mean, because, you know, not that they failed to make it encourage you to do that. No, they failed. They failed because they chose a stupid-ass game premise, if that's what Pokemon was supposed to be. An MMO. You're supposed to daily grind at and everything. That's stupid. It's garbage. It will never not be stupid garbage. And, yeah. Like, for one thing, you don't roleplay a Pokemon game. Not without something... you being a very weird individual. You can't. Even one that says minimum story is that, because here's the thing, that's actually not helping with the roleplay. Minimum story. Morrowind, let's use the video game known as Morrowind, for example. Morrowind is one of those perfect video games for role-playing your character. And it's lauded for its story. It's got a very involved story, but it lets you play it in almost any way you want. Both within the confines of the story and it helps you imagine your particular take on what you're doing. It's perfect for role-playing purposes. Pokemon? What fucking... No. God no, never. At any point has Pokemon been conducted for actual role-playing. It's just another one of those old RPGs that fail at the roleplay aspect. It uses the number systems like RPGs do, but doesn't use the whole roleplay. I'm like, she created MMOs and old pen and paper RPGs, and I'm like, yeah, well, see, the problem is, is that you're failing to understand an important aspect between that and the old pen and paper RPGs. And that is, in order to roleplay a character with that, you actually have to have other people to interact with. And have a GM, and that's the most important part, guiding your character's story. The closest thing to single-player RPing I know nowadays is, with no GM, is Jump Chain. And even that has the guidance system of the Jump Arthurs themselves. And the original story that you're interacting with. Some of the worst Jump Chain stuff are the generics. But many of those have a supplement feature, so you can combine it with a pre-existing one, thus getting rid of that flaw for the most part. Pokemon, the game is supposed to be dictating the story for which you can roleplay how you're taking it, but by giving you nothing but a bunch of daily crap, okay, you know what? Killing this and then tossing out another, well, okay, these aren't so bad. I'm inching forward a little. But, if I can continue. That's what makes games like Tess, Fallout, especially the older Fallouts, but even the newer ones, with the exception of the 76, those games are designed for the game to essentially be the game. You've got this world, and story, that's the important thing. Even the little side quests are stories for you to interact with. Pokemon doesn't have that. You have to invent everything yourself, at which point you're not the player, you're the GM. And that gets boring because you don't have anyone to play off of. Seriously. Okay, that gave me so little points, I'm not even bothering with this area. And as for an MMO, well, again, the dailies and such in an MMO are only really fun. Well, they're not, actually. They're not particularly fun anyways. The real fun comes in going around the world doing shit like that with your friends, which you can't. And no, your friend sitting beside you while you're playing Pokemon doesn't count. Sorry, it bugs me. Like, I like this person's videos a lot, and I respect their opinion. It's just a bloody stupid opinion. I'm just exaggerating it on that part. I disagree, and I do think they're wrong, but... I mean, it's interesting, and it's a lot of valid points, but it doesn't change the fact that if that really is how the game was meant to be played, then it was failure. In fact, I believe there's a hack out there, a ROM hack for Crystal that actually succeeds in making it into a better MMO-like experience than just what we got in the base game. Which is absolutely hilarious. Because if that's what you wanted, to tell our own story, this hack out there actually manages to let that happen to a degree. What it does is unlocks the entire map so you can go anywhere and do whatever you want at any time. You can choose to start in different locations, have a long list of starters to choose from. And that's actually much better for the roleplay aspect than, yeah, what Pokemon normally sticks you with. It's still not great, but it's still vastly better than, you know, that. The roleplay in Pokemon games is you playing a set character who does a set thing. You're roleplaying how you're... to a limited degree, your interactions with the story, but it's very much a limited degree. Okay, hold on, what? Okay. So, wait, when I go over the limit... When I go over the limit, the berries sprout a second set, and then starts glitching out. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking I should... I'm just gonna plant 4 lums. I've got so many of them, I don't think I need to. And because of how much that is, I'm going to just plant 8 citrus. Well, 8 citrus and lepa and only 4 lums. Now let me recalculate how much. Okay, Orin get 19. After that, I think I'm going to... See? Now that I've gotten so many of them... Wait, what? Oh. I was like, I thought it was on the plant thing. That screen for a moment there. Because I was recalculating. I actually forgot. Okay, yeah, that's... Okay. I use lums so very little because I don't need them as much as the others. Especially now. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm not even gonna bother replanting the lum. Now I'm just going to choose one of these mini berries I have that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Jaboka berry. So I can at least have a bit extra. Because, like, I just straight up decided not to plant those, so I'm gonna need somewhere to put. Right, okay, recalculated. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna start using Lepa berries and much more that I've. Okay. Wait, hold on. Did I fuck up planning here? Did I put a... Okay, no. Okay, that's half. I mean, hey, if you can somehow make that work, if you can tell your own internal story like that with the lack of opportunities, more power to you, but that's not normal. Most people can't even do role-playing games that are optimized for it, let alone do that. I mean, I respect it, but don't ask me to try it myself. Other points they have, which are, I say, more valid, are the fact that the game eventually expects you to figure out how to play smartly. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's fine. It just did it terribly. And, like, how the modern games don't teach you how to do it in the main game. Well, I'm afraid to say, as far as I'm concerned, the best way to teach you how to do that is to eventually have you start fighting level 100 opponents in the normal game. That way, when you grind yourself up to level 100, there's all you can do from that point is fight smart. Once there's no power disparity, that's the best way to teach people skill. The battle tower and such like that do that too, but that's side stuff. As long as it can be a way to level up above them, people are never going to go for the skill option. And quite frankly, if you do that, I probably wouldn't even play the game because some people just don't have what it takes to get into the competitive mindset. The closest I've ever been is to the use of curse with a ghost type using curse. Wait, what? Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Would have been better if I was in the middle of playing a grinding when I said that, but said all this, but meh. Yeah, if you wonder why I said that, I was trying to copy the speech effect used by a fictional character. Or really, attributed to the fictional character. Doesn't really work. Bit too weeby for me anyways. It was just something that popped in my head after I said the first thing. But meh. Be meh. Anyways, what was I thinking? Right, yeah. It's still an interesting video, and it brings up a lot of interesting facts and such. I just don't agree with it. I'm glad they're making videos again. My favorite, I'm of the opinion the games where grinding is quicker and easier are better, because, you know, like, 600 an hour, like, if I have to put 300 hours into the game to accomplish anything, even little things, yeah, like, I'm wording it badly. The point is, I'm trying to make is that what they're describing just isn't fun for most people. That's the reason why they play it the wrong way, because at least the wrong way has some level of enjoyment to it. Six, 7. One more. And hey, what do you know? I know just where that last one goes. Eight. Okay, so I'm just going to now use, there we go. Because at this point, there's literally no reason to go to these places. I mean, stay in these places. Na, 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 na. Like, the grind in these places. Eh, whatever. You know what I mean. Oh yeah, the YouTuber I'm talking about is Tamashi, the PokeTuber is Tamashi Hiroka. She made a lot of videos, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't a high quality video, it was a high quality video. And I do think her comments about how we've all just become a bunch of old people who constantly yell at the kids is funny and kinda accurate. Like, I'm not gonna say that Pokemon Crystal was terrible for its time, and that we just became enlightened enough to see it. No? It was good at its time, it just aged terribly. I mean... Whoop. I mean... Though some things were dumb at its time, like the mail. I've never really understood the point of the mail. Yeah, the mail might have a point nowadays, but Jesus Christ is entirely pointless back when it was invented, when there was no way to send people Pokemon randomly. Like, having a message for someone you never met? Okay, yeah, no, that's nice. Physically? But, definitely not the way it's used now. Anyways, just gonna go bound to Jacob, to Boca. Yeah, that's something I didn't think about. I only have 2, so I'm just going to replant. Another one of these ones I only have 2 of. At this point, it's mostly because I don't want. If I might, for some reason, use them, I'd like to have more than 2, just in case. Oh hey! The game glitched again. Gora berries. Now see, this place actually has a semi-decent experience rate, so I don't mind going through here and just grinding. Or at least grinding while going through here to get the berries. Okay, maybe not. But, apparently. Because apparently they think giving me less XP than level 16 Pokemon is good. The fuck's up with that? That's bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a valid. I like that they do have valid points. With all the daily stuff and how tightly packed everything was, it was probably intended to be played very differently than the way you normally would play a Pokemon game. But my contention is, well, XCOM 2 was meant to be played in a very... The creators of the new XCOM games apparently intended you to play it in a very different way than you would normally play an XCOM game. But my contention, and a lot of people who are fans of that series, contention is that, well, the intended way to play is fucking Garbo. Which is why there's a mod that fixes the game developer's screw-ups when they created the sequel, where they force you to play the way they want to, and lo and behold, the game's goddamn terrible because of it. Huh. Sure. Okay, the hole's gone. I was like, wait, is that hole still there? Don't want to fall into it, because knowing this game, I'd never actually escape. But, yeah. Like, I respect their opinion. And much the same. I've been meant to focus on the dailies and not the badges. Getting the badges on such on role playing instead of playing it like an MMO, basically, rather than playing it like a single player RPG. But my contention is that that MMO-style gameplay is goddamn terrible without other people to play it with. In most cases. And even when there's no other people to play it with, Pokemon, especially Gen 2 Pokemon, just was not capable of really getting the better aspects done. How about no? Oh, I forgot to get my bike out again. I'm not gonna bother with rappel, since as soon as I get the other bush, I'm gonna go into the river and sail. Well, actually, I will go heal in town, then sail back. But yeah. Similarly, XCOM 2 was the... XCOM is a game series that is the game series and genre that is fundamentally built around slow, careful, methodic gameplay, because with bursts of risky action, because because fast-paced, high-speed action will basically ruin the game if you actually do it constantly. But the game developers apparently didn't get that memo, and when they found out people weren't playing it the way they thought it should be played, they made the second game with timers, which pretty much ruined the goddamn game, as far as I'm and a lot of other people are concerned. I mean, admittedly, I haven't played it, but I haven't experienced enough with, XCOM in general to know that's the correct way to play it, because the games are excruciatingly hard and difficult. Hence why you play them slow and methodical. Fast-paced action is just not the antithesis of XCOM. Because here's the thing, a proper XCOM game will be risky as fuck even if you're going slow and methodical. Whereas if you try going fast and careless, you basically just destroy your ability to play the game. You'd be losing soldier. You bleed soldiers so quickly you can't do things. It might not be the way the game was intended, but to misquote Nick Fury, if the way that it's intended is fucking stupid, then it's the player's job to fucking ignore it, to play it in a way that's actually goddamn entertaining. If the players can't have fun, don't enjoy the way you play it, then it's your own fault for making the game that way, instead of making a game that built around, and I do mean a way to do it fun. You want a Pokemon in MMO? Make it an actual MMO! People want a Pokemon MMO. But playing a single-player game like you play an MMO is terrible. It doesn't freaking work. It Nimrods. That's more a comment towards the creators than the Tamashi. Like I said, respect your opinion, just fucking agree with it completely. Also, that's me kind of bitching about Game Maker's Toolkit, which is another YouTuber that's actually regularly producing videos. And while I generally agree with his videos and always enjoyed them, I very much disagree with his opinion on certain things, like the fact that the XCOM thing, yeah, that was the game developers protecting the players from ruining the experience for themselves. And the guy upholded it as an example of good game design. Well, something a game designer should do just doing it the wrong way. My response is that doing it that way at all is terrible, and you can go fuck yourself. Like, a lot of people was straight up told the guy that, you know, that's stupid and just go fuck yourself. You're not all you're doing is gatekeeping people from enjoying your game. Not, you know, protecting anyone. We're not ruining the experience for ourselves. You're the one ruining it for us. Right. And more recently, he made a video on roguelikes and progression. Now, he starts off the video like the premise of the video is, should roguelikes have meta progression? And then he proceeds to follow it up by explaining exactly why he thinks, no, he not only does he not think they should, that's not the premise of the video. The premise of the video is, how do I bend reality to try to justify my dislike? Like, he talks about grinding as this awful, horrible thing that nobody should ever want to do. But it fails to occur to him that, A, people actually do, there are people who actually enjoy grinding. I even enjoy grinding to a degree. As long as I've got something else to do while grinding, it can be quite fun. It's a mindless type of video gaming I can do with paying a little attention to while doing other stuff. It's great. But he also fails to account for a rather important thing. That there are, in fact, multiple kinds of grinding, and not all of them... Oh wow, I'm just gonna have a surplus of lumberries for a long time. Glad I decided I'm not gonna bother replanting them, and why'd the lumberries have to get the free plus? The extra one. Right, okay, yeah. Is that he'd argue that all that the grind ruins roguelikes and all that. And mine and a lot of other people's response is, no. Here's the thing. Getting the in-game grind doesn't actually get rid of the grind. It just gets rid of the in-game representation of it. You're still grinding. You're just grinding your real-life skill at it. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have time for that, so, yeah. And then there's, of course, the fact that he outright states that with a lot of roguelikes, some people just will never be able to beat it. And by saying you think it's better that some people can't beat it, you're gatekeeping, in a way. Some people telling some people, you're just never going to be able to actually beat this game, so why the fuck should you bother playing it? You're just saying, you've got no chance of even accomplishing anything here, so why should they bother? And then a lot of times the reason they don't have time is because, well, it turns out grinding skill in real life is vastly more difficult than it is in a game. And, look, I'm not arguing it great. He's much better at arguing things than me, but I do disagree with him, and there are, like, a league of comments basically explaining why he's full of shit. Look, I played 2 different kinds of roguelikes on here already. Right, okay. Lychee's got 3 of them, so I think I'll save that. cutscene. Unlikely to ever actually use it, but I still would like to actually have it just in case, so. There we go. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm focusing on orange berries for now. Well, at least my citrus berry is benefited from the +3 eventually. $14. Wow. Gonna be a little short on orange berries for a while because I'm dropping 17 of them down here. But the plus side is I'm gonna be about, 15. You know what, whatever. Doesn't hurt. I'm getting more experience than I was in the rainforest. What the fuck, game? What the fuck? Like, look. I'm just gonna base my argument off personal experience, but look, I played 2 roguelikes on this channel. Splunky and Rogue Legacy. I plan on continuing playing those both at later dates, but here's the thing. With Splunky, I could only play it for about an hour at a time before I stopping giving a shit. And, it's not really something I can play on a regular basis. Conversely, Rogue Legacy is a game I spent a shit ton of time playing, and I had a goddamn great time doing it. And that, quite frankly, I could probably do 5 hours of that game. Well, if I can do 5 hours of any game, it'd be that game. Because I honestly had a lot more fun grinding at it than I do here. I'm not saying that meta progression is oftentimes done wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I dislike Splunky. I do, in fact, like Splunky. But I'm much less motivated to keep playing Splunky because I know I'm never going to actually beat it. So really, I'm just enjoying the ride until that gets dull. And stopping. With Rogue Legacy, I have something to fucking play for. I have something to aim for. Not only do I get better at the game through long-term playing it, outside, of course, my own fuck-ups, but also, quite frankly, the game gets easier as I go along because, again, my stats increase, but only in jumps, especially with the way I was playing it. Also, another thing people disagree, and I self-disagree with them rather hardly on, and firmly on, that's their way of saying it, firmly, is he describes normal roguelikes as having a relatively balanced level of difficulty. And I'm like, any roguelike with any form of RNG does not have a balanced form of difficulty, honey. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Things bounce around and change. Spelunky's probably the one with the most balanced, given the way it is. But even that game can fuck you over or be a godsend to you on a fairly regular basis. If I got a good level to start out on, I can collect a lot of gold, and then the next level, if I had the shop with terrible items, well then I'm fucked. That's the only reason to get the gold. Most of the time. And I was definitely not far enough in the game to get it for any other reason. Oh, wow, there was an entire line of bushes I forgot about, on the island. I was like, wait, I feel like I'm missing some of these. Yeah, while I'm here, I might as well grind against him a little bit. I'll probably only fight him once, but hey, I'm here, I might as well do it. But most roguelikes have even more bouncy difficulty. It's not an even line. The big difference between what games with meta regression do is that line might start off bouncing from here. It bounces up and down, but its peaks and lows are always generally within the same area of all the other peaks and lows. Whereas with games like Rogue Legacy, so really, Rogue Legacy, it's more like though even more gradual. Like even the best runs I've had in Rogue Legacy do not feel as luck dependent as the best on a when I'm stuck at a stable point and upgrades. Don't feel as luck based dependent as Spelunky does. Ultimately, that's the important thing about meta regression, and why I like roguelites, which is another thing. They are a distinct genre from Rogue Legacy. Likes, even if not everyone remembers that it exists or even knows how to use it correctly. Not to mention the fact the guy is using a different definition of roguelikes than most people do. Another guy I can't remember the name of, but I'm also subscribed to, did a video just recently, and it's vastly better. Like, I like Game Maker's toolkit 90% of the time, but every so often he'll have a idea of how type of game should be made, how things should go, and he gets condescending as fuck in the video when it comes to expressing that opinion. It's not always as noticeable, but it's easier to notice once you watch the one where he talks about how game makers have to protect players from playing a game wrong. Hint, playing it in a way they enjoy rather than the stupid shit the game maker thinks that it should be played as. Again, like the guy. Respect his opinion. Fucking agree with him hardcore. Normally, he's very smart about these things. Like when he talks about my favorite videos of his, the different ways of taking handicaps and disabled people in mind when doing it. Everything from color, blind, to deaf, to people like me with problems with our hands. See, that's the biggest thing. It's not just a matter of skill for me. My hands don't work great. So, for me, in order to be able to do stuff, to say, beat Splunky, my skill level has to be a lot higher than other people's skill level. Like, I like challenging my games too, as much as everybody else. I just try to stick to challenges I have some hope of beating, eventually. Rather than waste my time with stuff that I got no chance at, without decades of work. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Without years of work on a single game. Because at that point, it's just not worth it to me. Also, there's the fact that he, in that video where he among the roguelites that he thinks did a better job of progression without actually messing the difficulty up, he lists a bunch of games that do just that. Which actually show his rather poor understanding of within the subject, and it's absolutely hilarious. I'll be honest here. If I hadn't already played Spunky and found it actually enjoyable, even if only for a brief period, I probably wouldn't even bother trying the game after his video. Because elitism bullshit does more to dissuade me from wanting anything to do with it than, you know, the game's difficulty. And I say it because, well, the thing is, how do I put it? I want to put it in a way that actually makes sense. Okay, basically, the way he talks about the roguelikes in the video, it makes it seem like the thing that makes a roguelike good is the fact that not everybody will be able to beat it. Meanwhile, the thing that makes a roguelike bad is the fact that it's actually accessible to people, to normal people. Which is actually hilarious when he made an entire video about the fucking about how to make games accessible for people with motor control problems. Like, sure. This, like that. I tried done planting these orange berries. You ever play a game hear about a game called Kid Icarus? It's Kid Icarus Uprising, to be that. It's a Nintendo game, simply a 3DS game that's part of a long-running series that, well, I say long-running, but really, there are only 3 games, and the second one might not as well not exist. And the first one's not really that fun-looking compared to the third. Anyways, it's a game for the 3DS to be more exact, and it's a rather fun game. But I have so much of a love-hate relationship. I've had, the game since anyways, that I found those berries, time to battle Theo for experience. Anyways, the love-hate relationship with Kid Icarus. See, remember how I mentioned motor control functions? Yeah, that game is not friendly to you if you have motor control functions. It's a third-person shooter that plays like a first-person shooter. But the problem is, it's on a 3DS, and I'd pull out and show you, but it is the most, like, people like to complain about how bad joysticks are for playing those first-person shooters. Holy shit! Now try playing it on a touchpad with a hard-to-hold touchpad, while controlling the cursor with a pointer. Like, holy shit, no. A lot of times my hands start hurting when I play that game. Because of the way it's made. Well, it's not an overtly long game, and technically you could play it on easy mode. The latter stuff becomes much easier if you get better weapons. The only way to get better weapons is to either spend a long time collecting shitty weapons or go up against harder levels, which are in turn harder to play, and you get my point. Hey, I've had that game ever since the 3DS first came out. That's how long I've had the game for 3DS, so it's not the same 3DS. And holy shit. Like, just flat out, holy shit. I only beat it a few days ago. That's a long time. play a game that isn't very long. And that's because, well, again, the game is just not friendly for people who don't have great motor control. And the worst part is, the game director had a chance at fixing it when the 3DS gained a second control stick, and decided to just say, fuck you, and made it so that you could, so that it's now, lefty friendly. People with motor control problems can go fuck themselves, but lefties, sure. It is absolutely terrible. And while, yes, you could actually change the control, that means you have to control the directions with the stick with either the control circle, which isn't so bad, or the face buttons, which is very bad. Conversely, you could control the directions with the circle, with the face buttons, but again, that's terrible. If you could use both of the circle, if you could set it so the second circle controlled the pointer while the main circle controlled movement, it actually would be bearable. It wouldn't be great, but holy shit, would it be goddamn bearable. Nope. Wow, right on 99 instead of having more of them to go through. But, yeah. All of us, thank you. Right, so, but yeah, on the other hand, not only is the game actually quite fun at points, even ignoring the problems I have playing it, but, and this is important, the story and the way it's told is freaking great. Like, okay, the time in between the first game and the third game, completely ignoring the events of the second, is 20 years. In game, that's how long it was. It has been since the events of the first, both in game and in real life. Then there's the fact that when they're referencing the boss is an enemy from old game, they'll often show a picture of the enemy from the old game in their old sprite-based form, and make comments like, wow, they've changed a lot. I'd say the game leans heavily on the fourth wall, but that's, and while it normally does, occasionally it doesn't so much as falls through the gaping hole they put through it. Like making comments about, man, this tower is so high that I'm pretty sure that was a load screen back there. Jeez! Don't mention that! You're not supposed to know! Or, hey, those enemies look a lot like Metroid, something that people have been noticing about it since the first game. So, to which one of the characters responds, "No! What? I'm just saying they look kind of alike. That game universe has nothing to do with this game universe, and don't give people any ideas." Because you know people would have theorized. They do look a lot like Metroids. In fact, the second game, again, that no one remembers, even tried to make them look different, but they actually decided to go back to making them look similar. Probably because they could make that joke. And even ignoring the fourth wall humor, the game's just fun. With the dork of a hero, Pit, either bantering with his boss, the goddess of light Palutena, or with his enemies. The Sundre as Heck, goddess of nature, Medusa, the villain of the first game, the various bosses, and even the big bad himself. Now, let's see, let's check stats. Not what I want, but, 18. Where are we on experience? Now, where are we on money? Right, where was I? Oh, yeah. And it's usually fairly humorous banter. Like Thanatos, or my favorite part, is one of my favorite villains in the game because of it. And see, in the first game, they mistranslated Thanatos' name to Thanatos. Because, the game's based on Greek mythology. Not exactly accurately, but still it uses Greek myths and such for the ideas. For inspiration, if nothing else. So, that one of the villains is Thanatos, the god of death. Since they, instead of just saying he's always been called Thanatos, they called him Thanatos. And then he had a name change since then. But Thanatos makes a lot of bad jokes, and it's kind of a whiny idiot. So, whereas usually they'll banter heavily with the bosses in a place they go, when it comes to Thanatos, they just start ignoring him. Or poking at him by asking, "Yo, Thanatos, aren't you the god of death? Shouldn't that mean you should be in charge instead of Medusa?" And he gets shifty and like, hey, you know, I'm not really one for, you know, being in charge, and you know, the anime really isn't about that kind of structure, you know, and yeah, the game's just great with the humor. The seriousness parts of the plot aren't always great, but the humor is. I mean, it's not perfect. There are certain points that I don't entirely gel with. Like, I find the very Sundre Goddess Reedy hilarious, but I don't completely buy her switch to the good guy side. Partly this is because, you know, I'm trying not to get into it to spoil plot because it really should be something experience. She never really changes her opinion from the thing that drove her to be a villain in the first place. It's just, you know, that her issues with the main characters were just that they were trying to stop her. Not that she had any problems with them anyways. And as such, when shit gets really bad, and they already end up in a alliance inconvenience, it just never stopped. They never really stopped working together because, well, you've already thoroughly smashed her ability to do what she wanted anyways. Right. Once I get to 80, I'll swap back 80 or get tired of grinding up my Gyarados, I'll swap back. And once I get enough money, I'm going to go buy a bunch of yeah, points and not points, but carbos and such. And go and do shit. So I can start grinding up at least the fourth member of my little heavy hitter squad. Yay! Finally a use for my lumberries. Unfortunately, in combat, the lumberries don't start as good as the coconut milk. But yeah. But yeah, the game's a lot of fun and with its humor and stuff, and the banter between the boss and such, which will happen throughout the entire level that you fight these people in. The plot twists are actually pretty decent at points, which is why I'm trying to spoil things. I might have spoiled the whole switching of sides of Reedy, but like, even basic research about the game would have told you that. It's because, like, there's a feature in the game where you can give the in-game currency that you can buy stuff with to the goddess as an offering. And nothing really comes of that. If you were curious and looked it up, you'd find out you'd end up giving it to Reedy. As well, you can end up giving it to Reedy as well. Which wouldn't make sense unless, of course, she swaps sides. And so, yeah, you get the option of her or Palutena. And really, it's just there so you can say, show your, which of the two goddesses you like more. Now, admittedly, I might ship Vit or Pividi, depending on what you'd call it. But it serves no purpose except to make the very far away image of the character get closer. You're really better off not spending your hearts onto it until you're basically done doing the game. Which will be a while, because there's a lot of things to do. There's a treasure hunt mode, which there are free maps of those. There's the Verity map, which you get when she shows up. There's the Palutena map. And then there's the big boss map that you only get after you beat the game. The good news is, the maps are, how do I explain them? They're sort of like an achievements, but every time you get an achievement, a little square disappears on these maps, and an image is revealed underneath it. You also usually end up getting something. Now, admittedly, the something is usually redundant, like an idol that you probably already get. That's another little fun thing the game does. And that after every mission, you can go poke around this idol toss thing, and usually you'll get at least one egg. But, which you then push in the thing, pull down, spring into the air, bam! Now you've got an idol. Based on a percentage chance. Every mission, depending on how long it takes you to get through it, will give you a couple of those. And you can just do that. It's fun. And if you can also go read descriptions about stuff, which, in some cases, is something the game really should have had fucking in the first place instead of hiding it behind the idols, because it includes descriptions of what the different weapons in the game do. And some of them just have blatantly have effects that you'd probably prefer, but some of them are not obvious, so you wouldn't frickin' know. Right, sorry, that's another thing I find wrong with the game. But I do like the way the idols are handled too. They're even careful about avoiding spoilers, which is, yeah, useful. So you can get rare idols without usually being spoiled about what's going to come. Usually. What am I? And what am I? Right, yeah. I mean, aside from idle costs, you can also get hearts, which is the in-game currency. You can buy items, fuse items, mulch items, turn them into crystals, fuse the crystals, which is basically the same as fusing items, but the crystals let you share weapons through Spot Pass. And I know there's various ways you can earn achievements, beating bosses within certain periods of time, with certain weapons, on certain difficulties, acquiring certain kinds of weapons, or even specific weapons. And the best part is, the game will note whether you've gotten these achievements or not, even before you've actually unlocked them. Now, admittedly, a lot, with the exception of the final one, there are quite a few that you're unlikely to get until you've beaten the game by the time the thing unlocks. But there are some you will, like collecting a certain number of weapons, hitting a certain number here or there, and so on and so forth. And the game will remember it so that when you unlock the new map, immediately a bunch of them unlock at once, which is really satisfying to see. And most importantly, you unlock more and more of the map. You get a neat image based on the character and her or their lieutenants and such. Okay, I'm going to have to take a break here for real quick. I'll be back as soon as I can. Sorry. Clarify, I have to go use the restroom, so. Ew. I'm back. Sorry. That, couldn't wait any longer. But, yeah, I beat it in unlock boss rush mode, which I am not having much luck with. Now, at least part of that is my outfall, but also the fact that, again, My hands start hurting partway through the boss fight number 5, and there are 25 in total. It doesn't help that some of the boss fights are set up in such a way that you can't use your healing equipment that you can preload with, due to the fact that the game is half a second-person shooter. Yeah, a third-person shooter that plays like a first-person shooter, and is halfway a shoot 'em up. And two of the boss battles are, shoot 'em ups. Actually, the game likes to play with the later levels, play with your expectations. Like, there was one level that was, with the exception of the boss fight and just one long air battle. There was one that's an air battle that shifts into a land battle, then goes back into an air battle. Yeah. They're quite fun though. Alright, let's see. +3 to health, +3 to attack, defense, special attack is 1. The special defense is 2, so that's good. And more speed. Attack just does more and more and more. If only Bite wasn't so terrible. Well, it's not terrible, but it doesn't have staff, so it's not doing as much as it could do with my Mon. It's just about at twice, my attack's just about twice as much as my special attack. Oof. Stab makes a hell of a difference. Farmer's been getting good with his poison jabs. But, right. Yeah. Onto the weapons. the way the weapons work in this game is both interesting and frustrating. As you play the game, a level, you'll find weapon drops throughout the game, either from chests, from certain enemies, and such and such. But how strong they are depends on how powerful the level you beat. And you can also buy them, but the really good ones are ludicrously expensive and take forever to grind up for. And the shop changes every time you battle. Huh. Oh, okay, I get it. He always sends out his third Pokemon second. Weird. Okay, so each weapon in that game is split apart into types. The main types. There's bows, blades, staffs, claws, clubs, arms, and cannons. I think 7. Yeah, that's how many there are. There are 7 types. Each has a thing they're good at. Arms and clubs are really good at melee, but aren't so great at range. Clubs, all of them have the ability to can't do continuous fire, but they will always block an enemy shot. They'll always have higher cancellation effect. So if they hit an enemy shot, at least you're not going to get hit by the enemy attack. Anyways, one other thing. While arms can actually do continuous fire, it's fairly short range, and they're still good at just straight punching things. Clubs are slower on the wind up, though both do better melee damage. Blades have higher amounts of fire, because everything can shoot energy blasts, I should mention. Than arms, and have much better range, but aren't perfect, but they're all so weaker in the hitting department. Claws have a bit worse damage than blades, but on the other hand, they have a ludicrously high amount of damage because they hit rapid fire. Just bam, 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 slamming your fists and Wolverining them, hit. And rapid fire is extraordinarily rapid because your enemy just points and just because you just point and shoot blasts at extraordinarily high speed. So it's got even greater rapid fire than the blade, but it does less damage in both, while still having decent range. So it's the DPS weapon. That was one I used for one of the longest time before I got a stronger weapon than I had before, and had to sacrifice it. I'll get to what that means later. Let's see. Anyway, if I continue, bows, of course, have usually the worst range, even though they're the character's iconic weapon, and not the worst, the best range, and are the most powerful range attacks, but aren't that so great at melee. Which is hilarious because the iconic version of the weapon used by the character actually has the ability to be used as swords. And it's pretty good melee. Anyways, what was that? Cannons have the strongest, have the actual strongest range, but they come with the combat. It's only really that strong if you do a charge attack, which takes longer than anything but the clubs. With their rapid fire usually suffering below most other weapons, except, one or two. Because, it's a cannon. They're not made for rapid shooting. They're also big and welding and aren't so great at whacking things, so they're still decent at it because, you're slamming a giant piece of metal into someone. It's essentially a makeshift club, just without the canceling effect. And let's see, is there any I'm missing? Oh, staves. Honestly, I'm forgetting exactly what staff steel are, but I think there's somewhere around blades in capability. I haven't used a lot of staffs in game. However, below what I just described, there are a vast number of subtypes. There's the stealth claws, which there are things like the stealth claws, which take the claws DPS and cranks it up even higher for the speed. The rail cannon, there's some with fire that just naturally do fire damage, some that naturally, the Poseidon cannon that does water damage because it's a water cannon. There's a bomb arm, you get my point. There are a bunch of types, but there are sometimes a little faster than they normally are, a little slower, but doing more damage, have special kind of damage. nice music and good points. And, and finally, there's the, weapon stats. On top of everything else, there are the weapon stats and attributes. The stats come in stars, ranging from 0 to 6 stars, which can come in no star, half star, and full star. Well, half a star and full star, so that's... Really, it's more like there are 13 points to range and melee, which decides how much that particular version of that particular style of weapon does compared to everything else. For instance, if you've got a club with 2 melee versus a bow with 6, it's gonna. It doesn't matter if it's a weapon designed for melee. It's gonna suck in comparison. And then there are the attributes, which are things like plus heart bonus, plus item bonus, negative health, negative speed, so on and so forth. Some of them are really useful, some of them are outright negatives to have. And those are completely, totally random and you have no control of them. So you can't even... And that's the big thing. You have very little control over how things turn out. See, you can buy a weapon, and they're usually a good stats, but they're never the best. If you want the best, you're going to have to get a bunch of really strong weapons and start fusing them. But you have little control, so you have to be careful how you do fusing. Because you'll never... Because I get it's damn near impossible to get the best weapon on offer. Like, alright, let's say you... Because the way fusion works is based around a mixture of your attributes, your value, which is, you know, how good the weapon generally is compared to another, and more importantly, how valuable it is, and your stats. I tend to focus mostly on the stats because they're very hard to get up, and once I've got eventually get maxed out stats, I can focus on attributes. A bunch of weapons with maxed out stats, I can actually goddamn focus on the attributes. So the attributes are really useful, like the one that poisons the enemy or sets them on fire, or both. I had a weapon that had natural fire damage and then had an attribute of poison, which sets them on fire. It's great. Yeah. And what was I saying? when you fuse weapons, generally speaking, your weapon stats will be combined and then divided back apart, though not necessarily in the logical thing. From what it seems, your stars are all add up and then they're distributed sometimes seemingly randomly to either melee or range. Like, I think they're added to get... I'm not sure exactly how it is, but you have to be generally smart to combine two near the same item stats if you want to get a better one. Because if you combine a good one with good stats and a one with shit stats, you're just going to get shit stats. Or maybe an even stats. Like, one's got really good range and the other's got really good melee. You're going to have about even with both, if you're lucky. And that doesn't even get into how... And then sometimes your stats, your attributes are carried over from the different weapons, but that's not always something you want, because sometimes the attributes are shit, that makes it worse, sometimes, you get my point. And it's and while it's not random, you will have no fucking ability to predict, based on a guide or anything online, what the fuck kind of weapon you're going to get. So if you want to get the perfect weapon, the first thing you're going to do is want to get the perfect stat for you, is to get the perfect stats for it. Because you can't even combine everything. For some reason there are some that are just locked off and unavailable. But you'll want to mix and combine until you first get the best stats, and then once you eventually narrow down the best attributes, then, and only then, should you fuck around with it until you get a weapon style that works great for you. And then you're probably going to want at least a couple of others, because sometimes you'll want to change things up. Some levels handle certain weapon types easier. That's why there's an in-game achievement for, you know... Oh, I should have used, oh well. Would have saved me points in Surf. Well, at least special attack went up by 1. For more essential offensive and defense, but okay. Na, 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 na. At this point, I think I've got enough. I'm going to go buy a bunch of more coconut milk so I can, you know, have more stat healing combined with health healing at once. Yeah. When I'm here, I might as well sell these Oh, okay. Not a lot, but at least takes this thing that's messing with my system. My shit. Just from being there. Out. And you want to be careful about not fusing certain weapons, because you not only do you have a achievement for collecting every one of the Zodiac weapons, which I'm pretty sure if you fuse them, you're not going to be able to do it. Though it's possible I misunderstood it, and once you unlock a Zodiac weapon, you can now create it, if not buy it in game. Which would be great, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna see how much that is. Whoops. Link. Use. It won't have any effect? Okay, so I did waste that. Oh well. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna... No, not what I want. And I won't sell it because it will probably still be useful, but... Let me add this up, because I believe I only have, I actually probably hit my limit. Friggin', come on! Stupid calculator should be the first thing that pops up there. Right, so 252 plus 5. What? Okay, no. 252 plus 252. Stop doing shit like that, game. Oh, not game calculator. There we go. Button's working. Plus 54. Plus 120? Okay, a button then... No, that's correct. Right, let me check this then. I want to check my EV limit. Because I forget exactly how high it goes. Oh, 510 across all of them? Okay, let me try that again, because I'm going over that. Plus 120. Plus 10. plus 74. Yeah, that came up with a very different number. I'm going to do it again. 2. Well, first, I gotta not double click the goddamn buttons on the calculator. Plus 10. Okay, now. Plus 10. Plus. Me misclicking combined with this thing double clicking is making this take longer, so. $382. Okay, that checks out definitely. Now plus 54. Double checking my work. Things aren't checking out here. Plus 1, 4. Sorry, I'm smacking the mouse pretending that will actually help make it work better. When it's really just to make me feel better. $252, $262, $382, $54. Yeah, no. Game? What the hell? I should be... Okay, I'm gonna have to check the ways of raising them then. Vitamins. Okay, so, vitamins just won't work at this point. Well, fuck. I was kind of hoping for that. Yeah, I'm going to be sitting on him for a while. God damn it. At least 5 more days. Okay, you know what? From now on, I'm coming back here to train him at battle. I'm going to actually turn this game on. And, I'm not going to do anything but run back to Battle Beach City. To, purchase another use of the thing. I'm gonna keep the thing because it could be useful later. Because that's what the rate that is. 436. Then that means for me to hit I need about 80. 80 more points. And the best way to get those for Jumbo is to and only special defense would just be to keep coming back to that guy. Dang it. So yeah, we're definitely doing this for the rest of this week. So really, I only need to get all the way there, but yeah. Use. Knowing that, I'm probably going to honestly. Oh, I would, but honestly, after this point, the carbs and the carbos and all that, the vitamins are completely useless because the ninja training will be free. Well, even if it's not free, it'll still be better because I can use it repeatedly for cheaper. Okay. There we go. Na, 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 na. Yeah. But yeah, I have a major love-hate relationship with that game. Like, it's gotten so bad partly because of the Nerf-based case for my 3DS has degraded somewhat. Partially, it's because of the way of playing that game. I have to hold it up while pushing down on one side with the stylus. It's just, it doesn't, it's not that great. Oh, there's multiplayer too, which is ugh. Wait on. What are my... Yep. Die in one hit, die in one hit, die in one hit, die in one hit, die in one... Yeah. Less I have to deal with that fuck, the quicker and easier this is. Oh, thank you for making this fucking easier on me. Blue? No. Oh hey, thank you for the fall, Saltarui. Saltaruinum? Saltaruian? Ruin. Okay. Huh. Not sure how to say your name exactly, so I'll call you Salt. Thanks to you for the follow, Salt. And there we go. I realize it's not easy to see it on there, but I'm just gonna keep, since I've already started using it, I've been using this for so long, I'm just gonna keep using this version of my overlay, and when it comes time, I've decided to start switching over to a very different kind of one. Basically, it's the one I use on when streaming on Thursdays right now. Yes, rematch. Hold on, I have to take this. Right, kind of bad time for this, but I have to go do something real quick. I'm gonna need my help, and they kinda, they need it quickly. I'm the only one. It shouldn't take it more than a few minutes, so I'll be back real quick. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Not great timing, but what we're gonna do. Just kind of thing you have to get used to around here. The second biggest free that I can't do things like 6-hour-long streams. The third biggest reason is because sometimes I have trouble staying awake at 2-hour streams. At least not without someone to talk to. Or something to rant about. But, like what I was talking about earlier, Icarus. I will say something, I do like the dynamic difficulty system that game has. Instead of just picking a difficulty, you can pick a degree of difficulty from 0 to 9, with 2 being normal. And, you can pay the in-game points for the harder difficulties, basically betting it for the higher difficulties and just straight up paying it for the lower. Let's get really lucky, or have a good item and get lucky. In exchange for a chance to get much better gear and even more points. The cost is every time you die, the difficulty will lower by a certain amount, and then all the points and a bunch of the points you wagered are gone. Just subtracted from it. Anyways. Yeah, I just wanted to break it up a little. Even if Hybrid wasn't the best choice. Yes. Level up. Plus 4 to health. Always love it when the health goes up high. Special defense and defense most went up fairly well, though. Yay. Yeah. So. I need to refill my drink. There we go. That's fair. Level 2 difficulty isn't really that hard, honestly, with maybe the last level being... well, not the last level, like 3 or 4 levels. Most of them being the later ones being rather difficult. But if you get a decent weapon, like I've got one that's almost 300, we're valued at 300 in-game money. Well, not 300 in-game money, 300 points, which probably amounts to in-game about a couple thousand. Or even 100. Seriously. It takes a long while to get enough points to buy a weapon. Buy the worthwhile weapons. Even the cheap ones are overly expensive. Yes, I like the battle. Also, the game's got a lot of good music in it too, so. One of the mini rewards for doing the higher difficulties is there are things called intensity gates, which is what the difficulty is called, the intensity. Which will only unlock if you come in at a higher difficulty. The intensity gates sometimes hide only an item, sometimes they'll have a harder enemy to fight. Harder than what you normally find a level enemy to fight, so that you could then get an item plus, you know, the hearts from killing it. Good news is, even that when you do lose the ability, you don't lose the items you collected, they just get weaker. And you also get weapons from doing the bonus boss mode, apparently, because it will every so often drop one down. It's not as bad as some game boss rushes because it will give you health replenishing items as well as letting you carry in a custom gear setup which can have health regenerations. But it's still problematic because some of the levels just won't let you use your health regens. I mean, you generally can't use them when you're on a grind rail, which one boss fight does. You can't use them in air battles, which few do. Surf. Surf, surf, surf. Definitely. That's surf. I don't know why I'm like, wait, no, surf doesn't work on Sabu. Anyways, yeah. One of my favorite things about the game's humor is how, at one instance, their lean on the fourth wall became a full-fledged fourth wall break after the game came out. and I can 100% believe that it was entirely intentional that it would happen. What am I referring to? Well, there's a point in the game where a group of mysterious enemies show up, and nobody but this one weirdo has any idea what's going on. He explains that everything he knows is because he binge read Divinopedia. If you've been around on the internet a while, you know a lot of fandoms have a habit of making their own Wikipedias for their sites for their games, usually with a catchy name based on either with just the name of the thing, like Call of Duty Wikipedia, or a clever joke based on the series themes and such. In this case, the Wikipedia for the game series was named Divinopedia after that, which is in turn a reference to how fandoms call it. So now everything that the characters could find in the universe on Divinopedia is now possible to find out in real life. And it even makes perfect sense for a fandom to call it that anyways, because a lot of the big movers and shakers in the series are gods. Mama na 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 na. Yeah, I think I've used enough Lepiferes for now to keep myself from going overboard. I'll check after this to see how many I have. So I think I'm going to start after this one. I'm going to switch out to the other dude, Lupin III. Oh, sweet. Yes, I can now kill Splendophile with just bites. Miasmatic is definitely, though, a dark type, so... Water attack, ho! Bite. Oh, there goes that, having it sync up. Anyways, what was I thinking? I talk about. Like that, I could go ahead and find that other place to level my guy up, but I have no idea how long. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. Because if I can just come back here to meet up with Theo. Okay, so I don't need to stay here. Oh my god. Well, change of plan, guys. I'm going to fight him. Finish fighting him right now. And then I'm moving on. Because I wanna get Jumbo up all the way. I do actually want to use them to get to... I've changed my mind of leveling against him until, no, I'm going to level against him until 80. I'm just not going to do it all just against him, because he's still the best, re-battle enemy. Give me a shiny duplicate so I can catch it and use the breed. Also, soon it'll be time to catch a new Pokemon. But yeah, he can't be rebattled. He can be rebattled until the 7th gym. So yeah, I'm definitely taking that up. Just because he's literally the best rematch in the entire game. He doesn't level. It's like a proper versus battle should be. Like rebattle should be. Yeah, think about what I was talking about way back earlier. If you want a good way for normal players to learn how to battle with true skill, you're going to have to in the main story, you're going to have to find some way to equalize the levels within the main story. Otherwise, that will be reserved for the side content. Alrighty. Even though it's let's see if I can handle it. Well, at least I managed to get something out of this place. Pretty good. Yeah. And that is my Monarch ludicrously overleveled. Again. Of kites. Oh, this is like the Voltorb trap. Hey, the Pokeball. Oh, no, hey, it's actually a Pokemon. I have a feeling this is a Pokemon chained to a Pokeball. I wonder what that's supposed to represent. A crying, sad-looking Pokemon. Yeah. It won't work as well as the second term, but I'm going to throw it anyway, just in case. Yes, it actually did work. So opponent died inside its Pokeball. It has forgotten its original parent, so it takes the form of a substitute decoy. Oh! Linkite, Forsaken Pokemon. Okay, that's actually a really cool concept for a Pokemon. Its spirit is chained to its Pokeball. I can't help but feel it might be referencing other things as well. I'm going to look up to see if this has any evolutions. But it's also my first ghost type. Yes. I'm not using the, what I mentioned before with this guy. Yeah, apparently he does in fact have evolution. Hey, it's genderless and can't get any of the egg loops. Except for Sleep Talk, Grudge, Will-O-Wisp, Snatch, Torment, and Taunt. Shaynite. It evolves from... Okay, yeah, but when does it evolve? Ah, it evolves when traded. And then there's this notice about don't... And it doesn't know it's about not asking for trade requests on the wiki. I'm gonna go ahead and open that Discord. Take a look at it. Might as well read its entry. A malicious and dangerous Pokemon. It seeks revenge against an enemy. Its shackles were reinforced in order to keep its violent nature under control. Okay, that's actually interesting. A Pokemon that died in its Pokeball. Which isn't something you normally think is happening in the games because, you know, they don't actually, I'm actually thinking about doing that. Because, that thing honestly looks kind of cool, and I kind of want it. And it's also interesting because it probably considers me to trading it and abandoning it. Huh. I mean, yeah, of course I want it. Shiny actually looks interesting because it makes it look like kind of like a Mew in color. The substitute makes it look like a Mew in color. Oh, and it's supposed to represent a love ball. Which makes it even more tragic and got abandoned by its trainer. Yo, I might look into doing the training on this thing. Because of that, I'm not going to nickname it. Well, actually, you know what? Since no one's here, I'm just gonna poll the internet if people think it's okay to trade with A. Trade with Nuzlocks. You know what? I think I'll keep it. And not trade it up. I'd like its new next form is cooler looking. But honestly, I like the design it has now anyways. Sorry, things got messed up somehow. So freak it. I'm keeping him. Yeah, sad boy. I've been listening to people meme lately. You can always name it after Salt. But I think Sad Boy is kind of funnier, so I'm gonna use it. After all, the whole it was abandoned by its trainer thing, and well, kind of sounds like it's directed at the guy who caught it and then proceeded to trade it away. Honestly, I don't regret that, unlike the rat I caught earlier. Sure, a dark ghost, the ability to get to dark ghost type would be great. But, so honestly, I'm not entirely fond of, fan games doing actual trading crap. Yeah, it's the spirit of Pokemon and all that, but it's also one of the fucking most annoying thing to do when you don't have people to trade with. It's not so bad nowadays since the GTS got invented, but Alright, down and over. Oh, hey, a trainer. I would want punch rocks for training. Battle Girl Police. Chupacho. Goodbye, Chupacho. Hardly knew ye. Whatever shall I do? Thunderbolt. Oh no, whatever else shall I do? Thunderbolts won't work. Need a drain! Move on, background mutant just goes up, up, up. Let me proceed through the other exits, finding your way through the maze. Can you do that? True, but I'd also like to just fully explore this place, so hey! That works for me. Chupacho would have been okay, but I actually think... You know what? I actually think this might be my favorite Pokemon from this game. Flat out. Not only is the evolution kind of cool, and it even makes perfect sense why trading it would piss it off so badly. It was already abandoned once. Then you catch it and trade it away again. Yeah, it's kind of a dick move. I'm choosing to interpret the one who abandoned it being the player who traded it away. Because that just amuses me. Oh, a Modril. It is kind of adorable looking. Almost like a carrot-nosed dog. I missed what he said there. Doesn't matter. If anyone's curious, that is a reference to an old anime I watched a bit when I was younger. Some people might be more familiar with the Arthur, the guy who created later work, Fairy Tail. If you watch it, you'll realize that it was basically the Fairy Tail prototype called Brave Master, including the carrot-nosed dog. Its nose was it had a drill on its face, but apparently that meant carrot, even though it was golden and spiral. I don't know. It leads to interesting stuff from exploring this area. I'm trained so I can face Rosalind. Let's battle. Who? Who's Rosalind? Oh my god. I've been poking at an old Let's Play group I used to watch a long time ago, and suddenly I just got a flash of remembrance that, they did the Something is Awesome videos, and I remember now that I was watching one of their streams where they talked about video game spoilers and how there was a site that talked about video game spoilers that was named after one of the characters whose death was a major spoiler for a good while, and that it was named after that character's death, or at least that's what they thought. As they quickly found out, they basically unintentionally sent their entire viewer base, including the kids, to a not child-safe or work-safe website. I'm just like, oh man, that is a screw up of unmitigated proportions. Like, oh wow, that was just pure dumb on their part. I'm amused by that. And now I'm reminded of a tweet from the creators of a show I watch, where they realized that episode 69 was timed into a big bit of plot importance that reveals the connection between two characters, of two major characters in the plot. I'll take a while. You can take a while to guess why they would be inordinately pleased that this would end up on episode 69. Hello. This is interesting. Velu card. Velu card. It's a bat. That's clever. Usually it would be Dracula first, but they went with the Alucard synonyms instead. Wonder which version of Alucard it's referencing. Because, let me tell you, there are very different characters. Vampire characters who use that name. That's a key to beat Rosalind. Hell, you do that, buddy. Oh. Okay, so I was wrong. It's actually not as rare as I thought it was. Still glad I got it. Also, Jesus Christ! How many trainers have dropped their dead Pokemon in this cave? Yeah, I need to go heal in order to get my, stuff back. I could use a Lepa Berry. I could also have used a, No, damn it. Also, no, it did transform into Lupin the Third. I might have copied my abilities, but it still looks like a cat. Oh, hey. Dang it. Poisoned. Well, at least I have a opportunity to make use of Lepa Berries. And even a citrus, because I don't really need. Well, I do need to heal. I kind of just need to get out of here first. The heal's just to keep me from dying while trying to get out. It should still do enough damage that even raise it. Calm Mind isn't gonna help you, bitch. Moonblast versus Solar Beam. I know which one of those I'd bet on right now. It'd be Moonblast, because that move can actually be used instantly. Oh, sorry, I need to... suddenly became to overcome with the urge to stretch. Get back in that cave quickly, then I can grind. I'm right outside the store, so that's not such a problem. Ba 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 ba. Shit. I don't want to just waste that. Giga Drain. Giga Drain does make it so I don't need citrus berries as much as this dude. Cursed body. Something was disabled. I was gonna check my mom, but then I realized, oh wait, no, he's in the box. Na. I will tell you this much: if I ever do replay the Pokemon second generation outside that ROM hack I told you about, that actually does interest me, it will only be the transfer pack on Pokemon Stadium 2, because that's the best point that person I was ranting about made. As another link guide in disguise. A lot of abandoned for the dead Pokemon here. Is that really for Pokemon Gen 2, Pokemon Stadium was basically the second half of that game, and Crystal was the second half of Stadium. Well, not just Crystal, but really, Crystal was the complete version of the two gens anyway, of that gen anyways. Like, it was the second half of the game. It was even designed so that you could run it at 3 times the speed. Presumably, even affecting the clock. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best way to play. Definitely the best way to play that game. The two are so heavily intertwined that, yeah. If you play it like that, then it's probably the best way to also learn how to, you know, max your Pokemon. Yeah, I'm gonna start mixing up my Solar Beams with my Giga Drains, because Giga Drain heals me, and Solar Beam usually ends up getting me hurt. So up, over, like, the games were so heavily designed to be connected that, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with a lot of people. With that person, not a lot of people. Tamashi, that's the best point she ever made, that the game would probably be a lot better if it was played the way it was intended. On Dodrio mode, while hooked up to Stadium, while using Stadium 2. I do not have a Nintendo 64, so that's going to be a long way away. Go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thunderbolts. You shall see. You'll all see. No, Link Hype. Some things are not as they seem. Yeah, this it's a maze. Of course, it's going to be particularly confusing. Well, I guess and say that's not the actual exit. Gonna go somewhat into this room and look around some more. Dark slide, boom. Yep. Well, I'm going to finish exploring this area of the cave before I even bother moving on to... Hello, what's an expert belt do? Oh, that's really useful. Coming into a battle, you know you'll have a good chance of winning a super effective. You'll have the type of advantage for, and bam. Thus free. Well, it's one. No. Like, yeah, that ROM hack does interest me a lot, actually, and does help with what people talk about. Mostly via the fact that you can, like I said, not only go to any gym in any order. Ooh, that'll be useful. Shadow Ball and Shadow Claw, also useful. Always good. Ghost for attacks for ghost types, in my opinion. Oh, hey, a masking. I don't really get the point of this Pokemon's illusion gimmick. I know it's not. It's something from the game itself, but I just don't get it. I mean, it's certainly an interesting take on it, though. I get that much. But not only because you can basically just do anything in any order, and I believe you can start in either Kanto or Johto, which just sounds great to me. But yes, that was completely necessary for me to do that. It lets you choose your starter from a list. And that makes me extremely happy. I'm pretty sure the more rare Pokemon are excluded, but, like, if you give me the option to take a Ghastly as a starter, I will do it within a heartbeat. I'm sorry, what? Life what now? Oh, God, no. Ah, And I believe this would be the other possible entrance. Oh no, whatever will I do? Ah. Giga Drain. Oh, it almost worked in your favor, Duplicate. Okay, so this is a offshoot room then. Ah, okay. So I know which way is definitely the way forward. So honestly, it seems pretty obvious. I'm kind of going. I should head back and just grind for a while because I'm running low on. I've only got about 16 moves left before I'm rendered useless. Meta Knight. Yeah, what was that exactly? Alright. Bury it. Okay, must be the one of the okay. No idea what one that is. Anyways, what was I talking about? But yeah, a chance to start with my favorite Pokemon. Yeah, I could get at least a limited amount of role playing out of that. It's still not perfect, but hell, that would actually make me like the way Crystal is done. So the babe, I'm only at a. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, no, see, that actually fucked me up. Next time I'm gonna hit it with a, Giga Drain. Just so I can recover my HP. Don't look if he's got anything that can. Oh, I'm almost out of time. About 9 minutes left. But yeah, no, that actually does sound interesting. But it's one of those things that's on the list, and on way down on the list. I've got a lot of things I want to do before I even try let's playing that. And if I do, I'm not going to do a Nuzlocke of it. I just hope it makes it has an easier way of getting a hold of all the multiple XP shares. Because, yeah, no, training up your Pokemon, and here's another reason why grinding your Pokemon up, over, oh, you should just, you know, get them the moves. Levels don't matter. Well, see, the problem is, sometimes moves don't unlock unless you get high enough level. I know, shocking. I mean, or at least I'm running pretty quickly in the game, but yeah. Also, another thing, building one of the functions of the game, the lotto game, around it so you only really have a chance if you do trading with a shit ton of different people. Also terrible, because, and here's the thing, not everybody knew people who they could play with. That's the major failing in the Pokemon game. Like, even if you knew had friends, they didn't always have Pokemon. And if you really wanted to take advantage of that, you'd have to convince your friend to have like a third game, which you didn't play through until you could trade, and then trade to both you and your friend, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you do it, sometimes they do it. Otherwise, if you're on your own, you'd have to buy a third game. Because, in my experience, if you want any chance of winning even the most basic prize on that lotto, with any frequency, you're going to need like at least 24 different Pokemon from different trainers. Ironically, that's one of the many ways that Soul Silver and such fixed it, or at least it was fixed, and that you could trade over the GTS. Of course, what doesn't work anymore? I did not mean to do an Oprah Winfrey impression there. But, yeah, no, that, I spent on a year's worth of time in Soul Silver just to beat it. Grinding up my Mon wasn't even enough. Like, and I never completed it. I still think it was vastly done better version than the original version we got. Easy, you are. Goodbye, Eevee. Yeah, I just want to get in there. So I can get to the next half of the cave again before... time runs out. But that's probably going to be a very later ROM hack and such, and I'm not getting to that for a good long while. Especially with how long this is fucking taken. Suffice to say, I don't have another Nuzlocke on my list for a good long while. Yeah, I figured I'd only just get in there. Another Linkite. Huh, better place for me to use dive in once I get it. Well, as soon as I hit land, I'm saving. Okay, as soon as this thing is dead, I'm saving. One more save. Yeah. Also, I've mind about what game will be taking over once I beat the old Spider-Man game, not the new one. I kind of forgot Earthbound Beginnings was even a thing, or Zero, or whatever it's officially called. So, whoops. Yeah. So that's on hold until I can get a start streaming 3DS. So, second to that, I'll be playing Dragon Warrior / Quest Monsters once I get through for that game, which will be a while. Anyways, alright. Oh, I'm gonna let it finish that. There we go. Now I'll go. HighPriest signing out, and I will see you all next time, folks.